Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Logan and today we're going to be looking at the Yuletide Tales Lenormand by Faina Laura. If you have watched many of my videos before, you'll know I am a big fan of Faina's work, and so of course this holiday season I had to show off the Yuletide Tales Lenormand. On the back of the box we read, "Some traditions should never be lost, like telling terrifying tales during the cold winter nights. Introducing the Yuletide Tales Lenormand, a variation of the 36 cards of a Petit Lenormand deck. It features festive macabre characters and is inspired by customs from another time. Enjoy an adventure inspired by winter fables of the old country, presented alongside vintage-styled art." I have not come across an offering from Faina Laura that I do not super enjoy, so I totally recommend the books that she produces, the decks that she's produced. Her prints are glorious and gorgeous. Her original artwork, which you can buy from some of the decks, last I checked at least, is also stunning. So yeah, she's just great. And she's also extremely kind and generous. So supporting her is always, it's always a pleasure. So these card backs, first of all, look at these little ornaments and the little tiny like star, almost cookie looking figures. Like, it's so adorable. It's so gentle and festive. They're a nice small size, which is what we want, or at least what I want from my Lenormand cards. So we start with Rider, which in this case we have, I think, La Befana, which is an old Italian witch who would fly around Christmas time and reward good children by slipping treats into their hanging socks, and punish the bad ones by slipping coal into their socks. Which, have you had, sorry, a cat just rampaged through the room. Have you ever had somebody give you coal before in your Christmas stocking? I have to know. I have. It's really fun. It's really dirty and stinky, but if you can do it in a way that won't like destroy somebody's prized Christmas stocking, I think it's a really fun, I don't know if prank is a word, but it's a fun gag to pull in somebody. So for Ryder, we have the witch. For Clover, we have this little mushroom guy who admittedly I don't know much about. The deck also comes with these like little helpful explanation cards that, I'm sorry for all the noise and the shaking camera. The cats, of course, per usual, have waited until I started recording to run amok, and they are in rare form today. But yeah, it comes with these little explanation cards that are really helpful and interesting. Okay, so for Clover, we have the Mushroom Gnome. It gives you a little bit of a meaning at the top. So an unexpected moment of joy or a fleeting chance that requires quick action. Keywords are luck, opportunity, and happiness. And then below that, we have, in the past, Siberian shamans revered the Amanita muscaria, I might have butchered that, mushroom as a sacred plant. They would consume it during the winter solstice for its hallucinogenic properties. So Faina will give you little bites of history to just whet the appetite a little bit, to give you a little glimpse into her mental process for how she wound up with some of these associations for the imagery. I think it would be a really interesting place to start off and then jump into some more folkloric research, you know? For Ship, we have Vehicle, which is very cute. We not only have like Santa and the sleigh, but we also have the little tiny elves. Like, this one is floating down with an umbrella. These two are like hanging on for dear life with Santa's cap. We have this other one also hanging on. Cute, fun, puffy pants happening here. We have this one riding on a broom over there. We have the reindeer. There's a lot of detail. It's really, really sweet art. And I don't mean like sweet, I mean like it's sweet. It's very precious art. House, it's very cute, little snow-covered village almost. Tree, I mean, what else would we have? Clouds, we have someone banging the dust out of an old pillow, which the way the buttons are on it, it almost looks like it has a little mouth and eyes. What else do we have? Snake. Little snake at the bottom of the dress. I feel like there's an explanation for most of these cards. We're just not going to look at all of them because we would be here for a very long time. Coffin, we have the snowy graveyard, really peaceful looking. Bouquet, these little skull heads on the flower stems, which is really cool. I love Scythe being these three ladies with invisible heads or no heads. I love ghosts when they're portrayed that way. My friend Claire from Black and the Moon has done quite a few pieces here and there. Nothing she's sold publicly, but she's worked on things before that have just like an outfit, arms, hands, that kind of thing, and then like no head at the top. I think it's been like Patreon specials actually. And I'm just always a fan, so I forgot that was in here. For Whip, we have Krampus, which I adore. I think Krampus is such a cool character, and this rendition of them is so cute and camp and a little bit wicked. And also, I'm a fan of any demons or unicorns with the cloven hooves, and I'm a big fan of devils and such that have like the really long tongues. I think it's very ooky spooky and cool and a little wicked, and I'm into it. For birds, Faina has chosen cardinals, which I could not appreciate more. These birds are gorgeous. I don't know if you have them in your area. They can be found in several places in the US, and they're easily my favorite bird. My dad also has a really soft spot for these birds, so I think that has helped endear them to me as well, because I associate them with him. But yeah, and he actually brought me up a couple of Christmas ornaments and decorations this year when he came to visit that were cardinal themed. So I really love that. For child, we have, I can't tell if this is a doll or the actual child, but I'm going to assume it's a doll. Fox, little sweet sleeping fox baby. For a beast, we have what I'm assuming is some form of abominable snowman or yeti. For stars, we have this little like pixie fairy person with a bunch of stars around them. Instead of stork, we have courier, which I love. I think it can become a little bit difficult to keep the stork image free, like clear and fresh. Right? There's only so many ways you can depict a stork, and they are kind of awkwardly shaped. Like they take up a lot of space. They're very top heavy. They're very long, especially if you're going to try and get like their wings out. It's just not always the easiest thing to work with composition wise. And so I think courier is a much more interesting use of space and fits the theme a lot better with all these presents on the back, and they have the jingle bells around the neck. It's very, very cute sort of like mountain goat vibes. Then instead of dog, we have a wolf, and it's a three-eyed wolf. It's very, very ooky spooky, which I appreciate that, right? Faina did talk about on the back of the little tuck box how, you know, some of our favorite, like historically speaking, Yuletime traditions involve telling scary stories around the fire. And so I do appreciate that we do have some ooky spooky moments in this deck. It's not all like, you know, sugar plums and stuff. For tower, we have this gorgeous piece here. Garden. It's quite a delightfully literal approach to it, which is always nice in Lenormand, right? Mountain, we almost have this like Hobbit meets the dwarf-esque moment with the like home and door and all that in the face of the mountain. Crossroads, very straightforward, very adorable. Love the like candy cane pole here. For mice, I mean, how cute is that? Heart. It's really sweet, little hearts here. Ring, I love the color palette on the hands. There's a similar, I think it's a similar color palette and hand depiction for the ring card in Faina's Nocturnal Garden Lenormand, which is still my favorite deck from her. I just love the way she draws hands. I love the way she does the lace and little ribbons on the designs and the rings. And her color palettes are always spot on. Really lovely stuff. And then we have book, which I love this very like Poe feeling moment of candle burning down on top of the skull. We have the butterflies flying, or moths actually flying about. Letter, we have what might be, I mean, we have the mortar and pestle out, so maybe these are recipes that we're looking at. You know, written record of something, which is also what letter can denote. For man, we have, oh, what's his name? Sort of like Winter King figure. I'm assuming this is the same one who came up in the Bear and the Nightingale, the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. If anyone has read those, or if anyone is into sort of like Slavic folklore and mythology and like winter themed stuff, very fairy tale stuff, the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden is just fabulous. Book 1 is her first book ever written, and it's good. It's not perfect, but it's good. But then books 2 and 3, whew, amazing, stunning, beautiful. Love her work. Woman, this is so beautiful. Love the contrast of this like light bluish against the red flowers. Lily. I keep leaning it back and forth to make sure that you're not just getting it with a glare on it. I can't quite see what the screen is capturing right now. We have this for sun with these very like frostbitten looking fingers, or maybe they're overly heated. I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying it. It might say so in the little booklet. I have to look, or the explanation cards rather. For moon, we have a rabbit jumping over the moon, which I think is really cute. Rabbit's a little creepy looking. For key, we have what looks like a tiny gnome. Or would that be a dwarf? I'm not sure. Or an elf. We have the pin cushion up here. Just the whole thing feels very cozy to me. We have a little goldfish with a crown, and look at the beautiful tail with that ombre into like the cherry tones. It's just really beautiful for fish. Anchor. How cute and different is that? It just exudes coziness, does it not? And then finally we have cross, which I think is really beautiful and interesting. I'm trying to see where the actual cross is in the image. There's crosses back in the background, almost like these little pomegranate seeds or jeweled crosses or something. I've no doubt that all of the symbolism has been chosen thoughtfully, and the like depictions are chosen very thoughtfully. I'm just not familiar with all of the folklore that she's referencing. But it reads really beautifully and gently. It's a deck that I love to take out in the cold months, especially around Yule. And yeah, so obviously I had to show it off in case anybody else would absolutely love it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me this morning. I hope it's been a good time for you, and in the meantime, I hope you have a beautiful day. And actually, one more thing, I forgot to say, I will put the link to Faina's shop in the description below. And yeah, you can browse her beautiful wares because she has prints, she has books, she has decks, she has other things that I'm forgetting about probably. And she's just a really kind soul. So go check her out and support a fabulous independent artist. All right, now have a good day.